Hi, this is part 3 of a 3-part video series on how to meditate. Today we're going to talk about the mechanics of meditation, why it works, and some practical do's and do nots so you can get the most out of the meditation experience. And remember, all this is about one specific type of meditation. How many types of meditation are there? 3, as you remember from the first video. Concentration, contemplation, and awareness. So that's the one we are most concerned with for medical health benefits. Okay, this part 3 of the series is going to be divided into 3 smaller subsections: before, during, and after the meditation. So meditation before the setting the stage for a successful experience. That means you want to set the stage. You want to prepare the area that you're going to meditate in. And it could be anywhere. It could be in your car in a parking lot. It could be in the bathroom stall. Not too comfortable there, but in an emergency you could do it. In your office with the door closed, in a special room of your home. You want to basically prepare by turning off the phone and telling others that you're going to be busy for the next half hour, not to disturb you. Shut the door, turn off music, minimize distractions is what you're trying to do. Now, you'll notice when you sit to meditate for the first few times that a great deal of your attention is out there through the 5 senses, projected into the environment. And when you sit down to meditate, where you're just watching, witnessing, and observing, that suddenly you're really keen to other people talking in the other room, or answering a text that comes over your phone, or answering the phone. You don't need to do any of that. Don't answer the phone. Don't respond to a text. Set the stage for a 30-minute period where you're just going to be undisturbed by anything. And you know what? Noise is no barrier to meditation. That's right. Because even in a noisy marketplace, you can be breathing and thinking. And if you're breathing and thinking, you can watch your body breathe and witness your mind think. It's effortless, whether you're in a busy marketplace, in the middle of the mall, or in the silence of a cave. Both are suitable for successful meditation. So, first thing, to prepare before the meditation, set the stage and prepare. Next thing is meditate before meals, not after. Why? You probably know why. Because digestion is a dynamic process. When you eat, your body's going to be involved in digestion for a while. So digestion and activity is the opposite of rest. So we don't want to create a conflict. So meditate before you eat. And if you're really hungry, when you meditate, you know what? You might not be hungry afterwards. I've done it many times where I've been starving, and I sit to meditate, and my blood sugar gets rebalanced, and I'm just not hungry afterwards. Here's another tip on how to set the stage for successful meditation. Meditate sitting up, not lying down in bed. You don't want to confuse the body with sleep. In the same way, you don't want to lean back and put your head on something or put a pillow behind your head, like you might on a plane if you were going to go to sleep. It's better to just sit in a chair, just like I'm doing right here, with a straight back, free-floating neck. That way the neck can move around if it wants to, and that'll give you the most success. And we don't want to confuse it with sleep, because meditation is not sleep or dreaming or waking state. Meditation is a fourth state of consciousness. There are four states of consciousness. There's waking and dreaming and sleeping and what's called restful alertness. Restful alertness is when your body is at a deep rest, but your mind is still alert. Restful alertness. That's the meditative state. And just like the other states of consciousness, if you're deprived of restful alertness, then you will suffer. Just like if you're deprived of sleep, you're going to eventually hallucinate. If you're deprived of waking state or dreaming, you need these states of consciousness. If you're deprived of the fourth state of consciousness, which is restful alertness, then you will tend to experience stress and anxiety and tension and fatigue. So, introducing the meditation experience will reduce stress, reduce anxiety, and give you more energy. Okay, what's another way to prepare to have a successful meditation? Is to meditate indoors, not outdoors. Okay, now, outdoors, if you're doing another type of meditation to commune with nature or whatever, then outdoors is where you want to be. But the purpose of our meditation is to, remember, reduce the metabolic rate and gain a deep state of rest. And if you're bitten by a mosquito or an ant, a fire ant, you're not going to have a very relaxing time. So go indoors and get the most out of your meditation. So another practical question to set the stage is when? When should you meditate? Well, you want to meditate, we already know, before sleep, or before, sorry, not before sleep, before meals, and not before sleep. We want to meditate during the twilight zone of the day. Okay, there is two twilights in the day, between deep night, when you wake up in the morning to start the day. That's one twilight period. And then there's another twilight period at the end of the day before the evening. And it's about 3 hours. So somewhere between 4 and 7 is the ideal time in the morning and in the afternoon to meditate. So that gives us an idea of how we can prepare to have a successful meditation. Now, those are things to do before, to set the stage. Now let's talk about during the meditation. During the meditation, what can you do to make it better? And you know what the answer to that is? Nothing. There's nothing that you can do to make the meditation work better. No matter how much you want to hurry and get through it, you can't compress time. 20 minutes is 20 minutes. And it doesn't matter if you're sitting there and you're biting your teeth and you want to hurry up and you got things to do, or you're just relaxed and just taking it as it comes. Watching, witnessing, and observing. And if you are tense and uptight, then you want to watch and witness and observe that tension and uptightness. You don't do anything. This is a very important principle here. Meditation is the only time of your day, the only time of your life when you don't have to do something. Think about it. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed at night, you're always engaged in something. Your mind, your senses are engaging you in activity. And in meditation, it's just the opposite. Instead of projecting that attention outward, we're reversing it to go within. And there's nothing you can do. Instead of doing something, this is effortless. Anything that you do to improve the meditation will interfere and stop the process. The process is natural. It takes no effort. That's why we say it's effortless. You don't have to do anything. It's great. I mean, I love looking forward to meditation at the end of the day because I know after a long day of working hard, here's the one time I can sit, close my eyes, and do nothing. I mean, I'm just watching my body breathe. That takes no effort to do. It's an effortless process. And observing the mind think. Observation is effortless. We take it as it comes. It's a total letting go. So there's nothing you can do. And here's another interesting part of not doing something is that there's nothing you can do that will be as effective as meditation. There's no other activity that you can do that will create a deep state of rest, deeper than sleep. Meditation is awareness meditation is the only way to do that. And that's because you are not doing anything. You're allowing the process to happen. You're taking it as it comes. You're watching, witnessing, and observing. So that's the only instruction of meditation. And you'll find that you'll be aware of your breath for a little bit, and then you'll be off on a daydream. And then you remember, oh, my breath. And suddenly, there it is, instantly. As soon as you recall it, there's your breath. And then you're off on another daydream. And that's really all the meditation process is. It's going off on thought, and then the breath is the anchor to come back to become aware of after you've gone off on some thought dream. And that's what keeps you awake from falling asleep, because you're wandering off and then you're coming back, and wandering off and coming back, and you're observing, witnessing your thoughts, and then you're observing your body breathe. Just like that. It's a natural cycle. Okay, so we talked about what to do before to meditate, to set the stage. We've talked about what to do during. Now let's talk about after, or the general meditation. How long should you meditate? Well, there's an infinite amount of times, right? You could meditate 1 minute or 1 hour. But for this, we can go to the research, the 500 or so studies that have been done at universities and research and medical facilities on meditation. And this one comes from Harvard. Harvard Medical School did the first studies on meditation. When we first started teaching meditation back in the early 70s, so many people were having extraordinary benefits in the early 70s that researchers and doctors says, well, there's too much good going on here to it all be make-believe, so let's research it. And Harvard did the first studies, Harvard Medical School, in 72 with Benson and Wallace were the researchers, the doctors. And they tested all kinds of meditation, all the spiritual meditations and the prayers and the chanting, and then awareness, transcendental meditation, awareness, mindfulness meditation. And they found that if a person meditates twice a day for 20 minutes, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, then that will produce maximum benefits rapidly. You'll gain years of healing in just a few months. And that's the ideal. that's what we know works. That's what was tested, and that's the experience that most people have when they start doing it is, yep, twice a day, 20 minutes seems to work. Now, don't feel bad or guilty about that if you can't make that schedule. Maybe you just can't do the morning at all because you're out the door at 6 a.m. Maybe you can just do the afternoon. That's fine. Do what you can do. Some people can only do it every other day. That's better than not at all. So I'm explaining to you what you need to do for your maximum health benefit. Then it's up to you to accommodate that as best you can given your schedule. Keeping in mind that being regular is essential. Okay, so don't do 10 minutes one day, 15 minutes the next, 20 minutes the next. By the fourth day, your body's going to say, what are we doing today? I don't know. Every day he's doing something different. But if you meditate 20 minutes today, 20 minutes tomorrow, 20 minutes the third day, by the fourth day, when you sit down to meditate, your body's going to know exactly what you're doing. And you will immediately get into a relaxed, deeper state much more quickly than if you were erratic and had different times. So the key here is regularity. You want to establish a routine. And yes, it is best to meditate at the same time if you can. 6 a.m. every morning or 4 o'clock every afternoon. Now, that might vary day to day depending on your schedule, but if you can do it, that's going to be even better. But the key, when I say regularity, is the fixed amount of time, 15 minutes every day, 20 minutes every day. And now, what happens? Let's go on to another question that actually comes up a lot is falling asleep. What happens if I fall asleep? Well, if you fall asleep in meditation, what should you do? Take it as it comes. You fall asleep. It's fine. That's good. That's what your body needs. I've seen some people, every time they meditate for the first couple months, that's all they do is sleep. Because they've had, 10 years of deprived sleep that was stressing their body and creating disease, and they needed to rest. So every time their body started to take deep rest and meditation, they'd fall asleep. And that's okay. When you wake up, first of all, the sleep you have in meditation will be deeper than normal sleep. It'll be more restful because you're starting from a deeper spot. So when you wake up, shake yourself off, and then go ahead and meditate again for at least 5 minutes, because the sleep is duller than meditation. So you want to finish off with meditation. Okay, another question is how do I time this thing? Don't use a bell. Don't use a ding 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 bell or an alarm. Doesn't work. Eventually you'll just be sitting there waiting for that alarm to go off. It'll preoccupy your attention. It's not necessary. If you want to, you can set up your phone or your clock and just peek your eye open. Many times I'll meditate, I'll think I've been there an hour, I open my eyes and peek, and it's only been 15 minutes. I think, oh geez, I got to go back in for another 5. And so I just sit there for another 5. And that's fine. That's the best way to time it. Okay. So let's take a look at some of the benefits of meditation. Listen, there are literally, as I've said, hundreds of studies of meditation, awareness meditation producing health benefits. Some of the most interesting, I'm just going to talk about 2. I thought were most interesting. One is recovery from stress. This is pretty neat. What they did is they exposed regular people and meditators to stress. Unexpected loud noises, flashing sounds, and irregular. And when that happens, when I just did that, there was a reaction in your body. It's the fight or flight response. The fight or flight response, regulated by your adrenal glands, will create a condition where you need to fight or flight. Fight the stress and resist it, or get out of there. And how quickly you recover from that is a measurement of your health. And how deeply that affects you is a measurement of your health. So several studies have been done on this with meditation. They found that the group that was meditating compared to the regular just people off the street who weren't meditating, the meditators had a 3-time average faster recovery from stress. You know, in other words, their whole measurement of balance came back to normal. Their heart rate, their breath rate, and their brain waves all came back to normal much quicker, 3 times faster than people who were stressed. They were stressed longer and couldn't get over it as quick. So that's pretty neat. That means if you meditate, you will get over stress and anxiety. It'll be greatly reduced, and when you are exposed to it, you'll get over it quicker. Won't bother you as much. Another study is about reaction time. This was a cool study done at the University of Hawaii, where they took college students and they gave them reaction time test to see how quickly they could react to something. And then they divided them into 3 groups, and one group just looked out the window or just did nothing, read a book for 20 minutes. And then another group put their head down and took a nap on the desk or in their chair and slept for 20 minutes. And then the other group meditated for 20 minutes. And then at the end of that time, they administered another reaction time test. And it's very interesting. The people who were just the control group, looking out the window or reading a book, performed the same. The people who took a short nap performed worse, indicating what you already know from your practical experience, that sometimes when you take a short nap, you feel worse and more tired afterwards. That's what a short-term sleep does. Sleep needs a 90-minute cycle, ideally. But the third group, who meditated, actually performed better on their reaction time test after 20 minutes of meditation. That's dramatic. What that indicates is that something happens in the meditation to the quality of rest, so that you come out feeling fresh and prepared for activity, much more so than if you were to do nothing or take a nap. So it's a very significant study, and that's just 2 of over 500 studies. So lots of fun studies if you want to research and read about it. But at this point, I think you have a good handle on what meditation is, how to meditate, and the do's and don'ts and practical suggestions on how to get the most out of your experience. So now it's up to you to just develop your routine, practice, and have a great time and enjoy your meditation.